Hello, hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to 30 Days to a More Mindful Heart, round 2. In today's lesson, we are going to learn about our intuition. Do you guys know what your intuition is? Some people like to call it a gut feeling or following their heart. So I'm going to teach you today how to tune in to what your body, your heart, and your mind, all three, are trying to communicate to you. What are they trying to tell you? Because as we know, our body is always talking to us. It gives us belly aches, it makes things hurt, and it's an indicator that something's off. Well, the same thing happens with our heart and with our mind. When something doesn't feel right, we get these signals, and that is considered your intuition. It's this knowing that you feel, you just know something. You're like, I just feel like being in this room feels good, or being at this store doesn't feel good. So that's tuning into your intuition. So let's get started. When I first started listening to my intuition, it was briefly after a loss in my life. So I went through a really tough loss. I don't know if you guys remember from 30 Days to a More Mindful Heart round 1, I shared my story. And if you're new and you're watching this program for the first time and you didn't see my first one, I had a sweet little baby girl. Her name was Micah. And unfortunately, she was born with a muscle disorder. And because of that, her breathing, she struggled to breathe and she struggled to move her arms and legs. And unfortunately, she transitioned into heaven or whatever you would like to believe in when she was about 6 weeks old, just about 2 months. So I had to say goodbye, and it was very sad, and I didn't know what to do with myself. And I really started to tune into my sadness. And I'm so grateful for that time because it really taught me to listen to my body and to listen to my thoughts. And that's where my anxiety started. So in the first video you guys watched about anxiety and the tools that I gave you, that all started because I went through a really tough time in my life. And I just had to figure out how to be in my body and be okay, even though, when bad things are happening. And I'm so sorry if any of you have lost somebody that you love. I'm sorry that if you've lost a pet. I'm sending you big hugs. It is not easy. But if we can get a hold of, what our body is trying to tell us, our intuition, and if we can manage our anxiety, life becomes easier. And that's why I'm here. I want to help you all. I don't want any of you suffering. So how do we tune into our intuition? What I learned after my loss was I would wake up some days and I would be sad. I would wake up some days and I would be really happy. I would go be around people, and certain people would leave me not feeling so good. And I started to take note of all of this. And I grabbed a journal and I started journaling at home. I would say, I didn't feel good today. Or this person made me feel so good. I want to hang out with them more. They're really a kind person. Or this stranger held a door for me. And I started to highlight all the parts of my day. And it really made me look at what was happening in my life and how I was viewing it and how I was seeing it. So for you all, if I challenge you to go home tonight and journal your day, write down what you did, write down that you watched this video and that you learned to follow your intuition, write down, who made you smile, write down who made you sad. It's important that we have all of these experiences in life because they help us grow and they help us learn. But when we start to track and pay attention to what's happening, we then start to ask ourselves, how do I feel about that? How does my body feel right now? If I'm hanging out with friends and they're about to do something they're not supposed to do, your body is going to send you a signal saying, this is not right. You should not be doing this. It might send you butterflies in your stomach. It might send you anxiety, like we talked about in the last video. And we have to be really, really smart and tune in and say, what should I really be doing right now? Or is this environment not safe for me and should I leave? Or am I with somebody that really lights me up and they make me feel good and I need to choose to be around them more? Or maybe I should be really kind to them because I want them to be around me too. So you start really paying attention to where you are, who you're with, and every time you leave somebody or leave a place, you're asking yourself, how do I feel? How did that person make me feel? If they made me feel bad about myself, that's my intuition telling me that maybe I shouldn't spend so much time with them because they're not good for me. Or maybe you are around somebody who, maybe they're just having a bad day, right? And you start to tune in, you're pay attention to your intuition. It's telling you, you're like reading them. You're like, wow, it seems like you're having a bad day. You're just thinking this in your head. And then you maybe do something kind for them because you're paying attention to them. You're paying attention to their needs. So a lot of you already are following your intuition. You might not have known what it was called, but it's this gut feeling. It's this knowing that you just know something, or something feels off, or something feels really good. And the reason why I wanted to teach you this is because when you get older, it's going to be really important for you to tune into what your intuition is telling you, because guess what? Your intuition knows where you're going to go in your life. Your heart, which is your intuition, I like to call it your intuition, your heart, it knows what job is out there for you. It knows what person is out there for you. It knows what friends, what sporting event, it knows what house you're going to live in. It's like everything's kind of already laid out, and you just have to follow your intuition to lead you to where you're going to be your happiest. So if we deep down, if our heart knows what we truly want and what we truly desire, then we just have to figure out how to follow it. And there are a lot of adults out there, and some of you guys watching, you might know this about your parents or grandparents or aunts and uncles or siblings. Sometimes they feel like they don't know what they want in life, and they feel like they don't know which direction to go. They have 2 job opportunities and they're like, I don't know which one to take. That's because they might not have learned this. They might not have learned to tune into their heart to say, what do I really want? What feels good? And that's the connecting. So you have 2 dots. The connecting piece is what feels good. You go to an environment, say you are a teacher, and you're going to 2 different schools to interview to get a job in the future. You go to one school and you feel so good after the interview. You like the building, you like how the people made you feel. You go to the other school, and maybe this school pays more. You go there and you just don't feel good. You kind of like, it was all right. That's following your intuition. You want to go to where you felt good. You don't want to follow where the money is, because you're going to end up being very unhappy because it's not where your heart wants you to be. It's not a part of your path and your plan. So following our intuition is so important, because we're going to use this for the rest of our lives. And for you guys right now, at the age that you're at, you can use this in your friend groups, on your sports teams. You can use this to make yourself a better leader, to be a better student, because you can tune in to what your mind and your heart are telling you, and make sure you weed out the thoughts that are not real, right? The silly thoughts that we talked about. And you can really tune in and listen to what is right, what feels good. And usually your heart will never give you a thought that is fearful or scary. Okay, remember that. It's always going to be love. So in life, there's either love or there's fear. And some people live their life in fear. They're scared every single minute of the day. They're scared to go to the supermarket. They're scared they're going to get in an accident in their car. And then some people live in love, and they just walk through life going, ooh, I'm excited to go to the store. Maybe I'll meet somebody new. I'm excited to be in my car. I can't wait to dance and have the windows down. And from this point of view, you see life differently, right? You see it as joyful and fun, and there's lots of possibility. But if you're living in fear mode, you're going everywhere being scared of something. And that's not a way to live your life. And your intuition is going to lead you away from that. And it's going to lead you over here to what's good and what's healthy for you, and into environments and around people that are like you. And you will attract your soul tribe. And a lot of people say your network is your net worth. Who you hang out with most is who you become. So if you're around a lot of negative friends, you might start to become negative. If you're around a lot of positive people, you might start to become positive. But your intuition is going to guide you. So start tuning into those little glimmers, those little thoughts of, this doesn't feel right here, or this person makes me feel good. I want to hang out with them more, and start doing it. And then go home and journal it. Okay, so that completes our lesson. We are going to move into our meditation. As you're in your meditation, I want you to lay there And think about those times in your life where you didn't feel good around somebody and you just knew it. You knew that they might not be a good person. Maybe they lied to you in the future, or maybe they treated you poorly a couple months later, and you just knew it. Start thinking of those moments in your life, and you'll start to really trust yourself. You're going to be like, wow, I knew that before that happened. Or, I can really trust that I know when somebody's not being honest, or that somebody is a good person and I can rely on them. So think about that why we meditate today. All right, here we go. Let's settle in. As we settle into our spots, start to relax every muscle in your body. Open up your hands. Let your feet relax. Drop your shoulders. Take a nice big deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. This is your space to feel good. Before we start this meditation, I want you to know a few things. You are so loved. You are so kind and funny and sweet and silly. We need you. We need you to be okay. You are okay. You are learning how to be okay in your body, even when things don't feel safe. You're doing an amazing job. Our lives have not been easy, but you're doing it. You're growing. You're learning. You're laughing, playing. You're having so much fun with life. Be so grateful to be here. You're alive. You get to see and taste and smell and touch. You get to experience life. Not many people do. Some people leave too soon, but we're still here. And we need to appreciate it and make it the best experience. And that starts by living in our bodies in a healthy way and becoming mindful of our thoughts. I'm going to let you rest now. And I want you just to see what thoughts pop up and just let them pass by. Don't attach to them. And remember how loved you are. You're doing great. Settle in. Start to wiggle your toes. Get some movement back in your fingers. Shrug your shoulders. Rock your head side to side. Begin with a nice big deep breath in through the nose. Enjoy the calm. Feel replenished and recharged. When you're ready, you can blink your eyes open. And just start to focus on what you see. Find gratitude for it. Whether it's protection in a room, a beautiful light, maybe sunlight. Just start to find an appreciation for what you see in front of you. And when you feel ready, you can awaken your body and sit up, start to shift around, and get ready for your journal session. Thank you so much for meditating with me today. I hope you feel amazing. Welcome back, lovies. I hope you enjoyed that meditation. We are going to open up our journals now. I have some great questions for you, and I'm going to talk a little bit about them before you start journaling, but I'm going to put them on the screen like I always do. This is all for your own awareness of you and your heart and your intuition. Okay, here we go. First one. Name 2 events where you had a gut feeling about something. So in that meditation, I asked you to think about those times where you just knew. Maybe you knew that somebody was coming over and then they ended up coming over, or you had this feeling like, that you were going to make this team that you were trying out for and you just knew it. Write down those events, okay? Not yet, but in a minute. Number 2, write down 5 people that always leave you feeling better. It is so important to celebrate the people that are making us want to hang out with them more, because when we're sad and we're going through a tough time, we need to be able to have community. We need to be able to call on those people to make us feel good. So I wanted you to take note of 5 people in your life that always leave you feeling better. When you walk away from them, you're happy. You're like, holy cow, I didn't even know that I felt this good around them until I learned this lesson about following my intuition. So when we feel good about people, that means they're meant to be in our life, and we're supposed to spend more time with them because they're helping us grow, and they're helping us learn, and they help us feel good. And all of your friends, believe it or not, you guys are all helping each other learn and grow just by being around each other. When you interact in each other's homes with each other's families, you're learning from each other. You're learning how other people live. You're learning how we're different and how we can accept each other for our differences. So it's a really beautiful thing. Number 3, what are some things you do in order to make sure you leave others feeling better? So you have your 5 people that leave you feeling better, but what do you do to ensure that other people are walking away from you saying, I want to hang out with him or her. I want to do what they're doing. Or I want to go play with them because they're really cool and they're fun and they light me up. What are you doing to make them feel that way? And maybe if you're not doing anything, maybe you can start. Maybe you can start being that friend for them that creates a space that's safe and inviting and fun. Number 4, do you trust yourself to get assignments done on your own? So this is a big piece of your intuition, because your intuition is guiding you. Your heart is guiding you to the right answer. It's guiding you to what's right for you. And sometimes when we're doing assignments, we don't trust our answers. When you're taking a test, you fill out A, and then later you're like, wait, should I put C? Oh, let me erase it and put C. And then you get it wrong, and you should have kept with A because A was right in the end. That is your intuition. Your intuition is a little whisper, and it's like a quick little thought. It's normally your initial thought. So when I have clients and when I have students of mine and I have people in my life are saying, Michelle, I need to make this big decision in my life. Can you help me? I have them meditate first. And then when they come out of their meditation, I have them ask themselves the question, is this job right for me? Is this person right for me? Should I move? And whatever the first thought that comes to their mind is their intuition. Your mind with the fearful, silly, unrealistic thoughts, that will chime in a minute or two and give you all the reasons why you shouldn't do the thing that you want to do. So you have to pay attention. That intuitive thought, it's a quick little whisper, and it's like the first thought that comes to your mind. So when you're taking tests from now on and you have a quick answer that comes to you, trust it. And when you're doing assignments, begin to trust yourself. But be honest when you answer that question. Do you trust yourself to do your assignments alone? Or do you always need somebody to check your answers? Either way, it's okay. There's no wrong answer, but just start to pay attention to see how much do you rely on you to get things done, or do you always need somebody helping you? Because my goal is to get you to only rely on you. It's great to have somebody check your work, but you also should hand that work to them feeling really confident. Okay, and the last one before you guys start your journals and do a class discussion, has anyone ever told you your feelings were wrong or not real? This is a big one, and I wrote the word explain because I want you to explain it in your answer. And if you guys do a class discussion, I think it'd be really important for you all to share this, because I want you all to know that if you are feeling something, it is valid. You are allowed to have feelings, okay? If somebody is telling you that you're too sensitive, you're not. If somebody is telling you that you're too angry, you're not. Sometimes we just have emotions that build up and we're allowed to have them. So please don't allow somebody to diminish or shrink your feelings, because what that does is that tells you that what you're feeling shouldn't happen. And then for the rest of your life, you start to smush all of that down. And guess where that goes? That goes into your body, and your body holds on to it. And then we have to, later in life, when we get to be adults, we have to go through healing, and we have to go through some work to release it. And we have to go through talk therapy to talk it out. But when you're young and when you're at the age that you're at, you guys can start to see if somebody's telling you to not be sad, or to, come on, get over it, or stop being so sensitive. They are not honoring you and who you are and what your feelings are. And you are being challenged now to make sure that you're doing that for your friends. Always make sure you tell your friends, oh, wow, you're really sad. I see that you're sad. Do you need me? Can I do anything for you? We don't want to shoo away their pain, because it's real and we are human and we're allowed to have feelings. So if somebody's telling you that your feelings are not real, please don't listen to them. You can sit with your intuition and say, what I'm feeling is real. And my body does not lie to me. So if I'm in a store and I don't feel good, I'm going to tell my mom and dad, I don't feel good. Yes, they might be stern and say, no, we're not leaving just because you don't feel good. But some parents might honor that and say, oh my gosh, are you okay? Yes, we can leave. Because that's your truth. That's who you are. If you're an adult and you're 40 years old and you're out somewhere and something doesn't feel right, guess what you're going to do? You're going to grab your car keys and you're going to leave, because you're going to honor yourself. So I want to teach you now at a young age to start honoring your feelings. If somebody tells you they're not real or you shouldn't have them, don't listen to that. You tune into your heart, into your body, and start following your intuition. All right, let's get started with these journals, and I will pull you guys back in to say goodbye. All right, here we go. All right, lovies, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed those journal questions. And remember, tuning into your intuition is everything. It will help guide you in life when you need to make big decisions, when you're not sure if you should be hanging out with a crowd of people or not. Tune into what your body is telling you. If you feel nervous, really ask yourself, am I nervous because I'm scared to be myself here? Or am I nervous because this place doesn't feel good? And really start to tap into that. All right, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day. Peace out.